Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to create graffiti art using Chrome Canvas on your Chromebooks. Please forgive the sloppy writing. I was going quickly. So on the left you have all of your tools. You've got a pen, an ink pen, a marker, a chalk, an eraser. You can change the opacity or the transparency of the color and the size of your tool, the size of your brush. Now the big thing that is important are layers. So these are over on the right side. You can see the little squares that drop down. And these different layers allow you to create really cool art. You can turn the layers on and off. You can move the layers up and down so they're on top or below each other. You can even delete the layers if you don't want them. I'm going to show you how to do all this. I just wanted to kind of give you a quick overview. Think of layers as paper. So paper stacked on top of one another, and the top paper is what you'll be showing at the very end. Okay, let's create a new drawing. Now, I want you to add your layers. Go over to the right side and add 3 or 4 layers. You'll know you're working on the bottom layer when that gray box is selected. I'm going to show you how to use the marker tool. I'm going to select 3 different colors, sort of like I used in my graffiti art with the colored pencil. I'm moving my brush size up because I'm covering a large portion of my paper, and my opacity is almost completely opaque. Now, if I was doing this for real, I would cover my entire paper. I find that it's easy to work with your finger rather than a stylus, unless you have a great one on the Chromebook. It kind of gives you more control. The mouse is really tricky for me. Maybe you are excellent at it and you can do that, but I would just use the touch screen. So I'm selecting 3 different colors and I'm building those on top of one another. I'm using the marker tool, and then I believe I go and select the chalk tool and show you how to use that one as well. I like the chalk tool because it really blends in to one another, almost like actual chalk or paint. After you get your 3 layers on top of one another, and again, I would cover the entire page, I'll show you where to go next. Now, the thing about layers is you can click them on and off. So go ahead and try that. Click it on and off and you can see. Select the next layer up. See the gray box behind that layer box? That's how you know you're working on that. Now we're gonna go select black. The marker tool, we're gonna bump the opacity all the way up, the tool size all the way up, and again, I'm checking just to make sure I'm on the next layer up because I don't wanna actually cover this whole layer with black. I wanna color the next layer up. So I'm covering all of this with black. Again, if this was my finished product, I would cover all of the white space. Okay, next we're gonna do those guidelines like we did on our actual paper. I'm going up to the next layer. Make sure you're off of that black layer. I'm going over to the small pencil. I'm gonna just do gray because, I don't know, it reminds me of the pencil guidelines. And the size is really small. So I'm drawing that straight line across, and then I'm picking the curved lines however you want them. If you want the hourglass shape, the rainbow shape, it's completely up to you. After you get those curved lines, write out your word. Let's pretend this says Spartans. Instead it says Spartan, but I was, again, in a rush. Okay, now pay attention. This is where it gets tricky. I want you to go back down to the black layer. You will still be able to see the word Spartan, but you are working on the black layer. Select that layer. Make sure it has the gray behind it. Go to your eraser tool. And you won't be able to select a color, but you will be able to select a size. And now you can go around. I tried to use my mouse there, it didn't work. Now you can go around your letters, just like you're drawing them on paper. And do you see the magic that is happening? This is so cool. It's like scratch art, where you had those black, pieces of little cardstock and you used a tool to scratch it off and the beautiful colors shine through. This is just like that. So you're using your eraser to basically erase the black, and it's showing that beautiful color that you started with. Go back through, add in the thickness of your letters however you'd like them. Now it does get tricky to overlap. There is a way you could do that. You could add white over it when you were done. And just go in and fill your letters in, but you're actually erasing your letters. Now you can see where the sloppiness of not filling in my whole paper comes into play. I had to go back and fix that. Okay, so you can turn off those guidelines with that layer, which is a little eye. I'm pretty sure you figured that out. Now, if you want to add some sort of burst around it, lines, design, I would go to a very top layer. I would just go ahead and add another layer and draw that in. I really like this ink pen tool, I guess, or a fountain pen, or a calligraphy pen, if you want to call it that. And when you use your lines, just the different pressure makes the thinness and the thickness of the lines. Again, this is super messy. I'm just showing you guys how to go around and make these little lines. You can also just tap your finger on the Chromebook and it will make little dots. Okay, I'm also adding little white highlights. I just went and selected the white and I'm adding those on the letter to just give it a little extra touch. Try not to get frustrated if you accidentally draw on the wrong layer. It really happens, especially if you're not used to it. Go back and turn them all off and on. And that's really fun to see all of the work that you created. Now there's 3 little dots at that top right corner, and that's where you can save your work. I believe it says save to folder or something like that. And that will download to your drive, or you can save it in your images. Okay, have fun.